All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back. Happy Tuesday. Retail sales today. Morning. Margin, Nomits, Dino, Captain, Golf Nut, Carlitos, Britt, Robert, 3D, Rusty, David. Morning, Kevin from Lakeland. Robert, both Robert, Steven, DP, David, Steven. Morning, Bruce, Paucho, Kzen. Good morning, Chef, Tesla. Keep on going, Tesla. Tashumbi, good morning. Ponzi, CJ, Carlitos again, Kavi. We'll be here tomorrow, Margin. No Thursday. We'll be here tomorrow. Yeah, Tesla's a beast. Tesla's up another, what is that, $11 per share? My goodness. Yeah, another $11 per share on Tesla. So another huge move there. Just got to keep riding that thing. And then the shitter. The shitter's still shitting. Nvidia. We're down at that major zone today. 128, 130, 100 SMA. This is it. It's now or never for this thing. The shitter. The shitter that everyone's starting to hate. Everyone's starting to hate it. It's an interesting thing, but right now it's a tough one, that's for sure. Morning, everyone. Welcome back. Hope everyone's having a good morning so far. Hope everyone had a good day yesterday. Yesterday was good. Good profits. I mean, it was basically just all Tesla. I really didn't make any moves yesterday besides some MRVL. If you guys are part of the group, we took some MRVL yesterday. It was up around 35-40% into close. That was a good trade. Besides that, just held on to my remaining Nvidias and held on to my Teslas. And so Tesla continues to offset the Nvidia losses, which is great. But, yeah, I mean, ideally, I wish I wasn't having to babysit this Nvidia position. Today, the game plan is, I will talk about the game plan on Nvidia for my last position. And just keep letting that Tesla pay for it. Wish they could both be moving together. That would be, I mean, I'd probably be having one of my best months ever if that was the case. But Nvidia sort of keeping a ceiling on the P&L for now, as Tesla just sort of creeps it higher, but Nvidia is sort of holding it back. So yeah, it's been tough, man. It's been tough. Been here before. Been through some adversity on some of these positions, some of these ideas I've had. Nvidia is definitely one that has tested my patience, tested my confidence, tested everything. But you know, man, sometimes it's good. It's good to go through this adversity at times. You know, it teaches you something. That's for sure. So, Nvidia's have been a tough one. Tesla's been a beautiful one. Let's keep and I'm, you know, what I talked to the group about yesterday, which I think is the most important right now, is we gotta start. We want to keep an eye on Nvidia, but we can't let it take over our entire day. Right? That's the most important thing. We want to keep an eye on it. We want to make sure we don't miss out on the potential of something happening over there. But we can't let it take over our trades, right? So a lot of people, you know, as HJ, as you said, I agree that I'm a little bit against the trade on Nvidia right now, but I have not allowed this Nvidia trade to stop me from trading other equities, right? And that's the key, right? So I've been able to trade around this, even though I understand I'm in the wrong right now. I understand that it's very against what I'm looking at. I know that I'm doing something I really don't want to do, which is sort of stay in it and be against it right now. But the reason I've been okay to do what I'm doing is because I have had no problem trading outside of it, right? If you guys saw my video last night, I'm still up about $60,000 on the month, even with this NVIDIA loss, trading around the shitty NVIDIA trade. Of course, maybe the right thing in hindsight is to just get rid of it and focus on the other stuff, but I've been able to do both, right? So that's the key here, right? The key is just don't let this NVIDIA trade take over from the other things that are moving really nicely. Make sure you're still focusing on the good stuff, right? There's some really nice trades out there. There's some really nice opportunities. Tesla's been great. Broadcom's been great. Some of the, the Google, Amazon stuff's been beautiful. There's been a lot of really nice trades that have been following this upside market. So that's the key, right? And I would continue to say that that's the key. If you are watching this NVIDIA, make sure you're still focusing on the stuff that is really clean right now, one of them being NVIDIA. One of them being Tesla, right? Tesla is gorgeous, right? Gorgeous every day. So that's the hot spot. But hey, I hope you guys are enjoying watching me go through this live. Man, this is something that I don't know how many people online are gonna sort of document on a daily basis. There's not many people out there that you're able to watch do this and see the updates, see the real portfolio, and hopefully you appreciate that. So, what happened to Matt Diamond? Matt still trades. Good guy. I still talk to him once in a while. He's actually in the group. He pops in every now and then, say hi, get a little update from him. I think he just wanted to do things on his own, man. I don't see. I mean, there's definitely days where I think about, hey, wonder what it would be like if I just traded on my own, right, and didn't really have to, sort of show what I do. It's a nice thing to think about. It's probably quite nice, to just sort of do your own thing and not have to show it. So I'm assuming maybe he just wanted to get it a little bit more personal and keep things to himself. I get it. Makes sense. I mean, any normal person should understand that. MU, got you, pump. Got you on that. All right. Let's get started. Press that like button, subscribe to the channel. Retail sales today. A little update on the long-term portfolio, guys. This thing is out of control. Long-term, congratulations to the long-term boys and girls. I mean, the long-term portfolio is astronomical right now. This month, $67,000 long-term portfolio. I've never expected to see anything like that. I would never have guessed to make $67,000 in a long-term share portfolio. So that is incredible. Congratulations to everyone that has stayed long Tesla, that has stayed long some very obvious tech stocks, right? These are nothing in this portfolio is should surprise anyone, right? We got Tesla, Nvidia, Amazon, MRVL, Broadcom, Apple, Google, TSM, Netflix, Meta, Microsoft, GEV. I mean, there's nothing in this portfolio that is like, oh my God, how does he find out about that stock, right? It's not. I don't invest in that stuff, right? So these are all very household names, and this is just about dollar cost averaging and compounding gains. And of course, Tesla being Tesla. I mean, just being a monster. So this week, $38,000 over the last I guess it's a rolling 7-day period. 3 months, $117,000. Year to date, $152,000. Long-term portfolio is running. So congrats. I want to reiterate this again. I want to make sure you know that I will be the voice of reason. If you're trading options, if you are taking high risk on a daily basis, and you do not have a long-term portfolio, I need you to stop right now, right? I need you to take every dollar you have out of your trading account, and I need you to start buying some shares, right? That is most important. This is number one goal here. This is something you retire on. This is always working in the background. And if you don't catch an individual stock on options, this is always going to just take advantage of the market moves. That is something you need to have, and I will reiterate that once again. All right. Economic calendar, retail sales right here. This is today, retail sales, right? Beautiful. Let's pay attention to that. Tomorrow, FOMC. Thursday, GDP unemployment claims. And Friday, PCE price index. Once again, for you guys that are here early, I will not be here Thursday, Friday. Right here. That's not me. You're going over to Trade Brigade, TB. You're going to go to TB's channel tomorrow or Thursday and Friday. I will not be here. I will be celebrating the birthday. So that's that. Today, retail sales, 8:30. Tomorrow, FOMC. Will be here for both of those. Thursday, Friday, I will be out. Okay? Earnings. We got MU tomorrow. That's probably the only one I'm really that interested in. MU tomorrow after hours. You got Nike and FedEx Thursday after hours, and that's really it. All right? So, let's get started. NASDAQ futures. Yesterday, we pretty much just got a perfect hold over the 22,209 level. The 22,209 level was our previous all-time high, right? So we came into the live stream yesterday. We said that 22,209 level, that's the previous all-time high, right? That was right here. You guys can see right here, previous all-time high, 22,209, 210. And yesterday, intraday, you basically just saw a morning hold right above it, and the rest was history. I mean, we went up straight up all day. So I guess in a way a tough one to trade on the actual NQ. You could have just traded the trend, which was quite gorgeous. You could have maybe traded this long on this retest at 22,210 area right after that sort of morning push, retest, trust that low, and that would be a beautiful long. But pretty much the moral of the story yesterday was we held above previous all-time high, and we just rallied the entire day. So NASDAQ insanely strong, and definitely stronger than the S&P 500, which is, I don't want to say like concerning of something really bad happening, but it's definitely something to pay attention to, right? That ES is nowhere near as strong as the NASDAQ right now, and it's something to at least understand, right? So know that. The only level that I would look for today to try to hold is 22,320. That's it. I mean, that's the only level. If we don't hold here today, I'm going to assume you give back everything from yesterday, right? If you fail under this pre-market low right here around 320, I don't think you're going to hold up, guys. I think this would actually be quite a nice short zone right here, because this is just too straight up, right? It's too straight up from yesterday. This is a vertical day to the upside. If we do not hold this sort of higher low here around 22,320 today, which is around this pre-market low right there, if we do not hold this, I would probably expect one of those sort of trending down days to give back this straight up. That's around 22,210, right? So a little bit of a cautious day, right? We got FOMC tomorrow. You had straight up yesterday. This is probably your straight up day of the week, honestly. That's at least how I would expect it to be. I would sort of take that. I would take a step back, okay, to protect yourself today. This was vertically up yesterday. So do we see a little bit less than vertically up for the rest of the week? Very possible, at least until FOMC. Very possible, right? So I'd be careful today. I'm not really expecting another vertically up day right before FOMC. Let's make sure we sort of keep those expectations slightly lower. This was quite a gift yesterday. If we break under this 320 level, once again, I would assume some weakness, right? A failure under pre-market lows would probably make me assume some weakness, and that probably gives us back this move from yesterday back towards that 22,210, okay? 22,210 would actually be, quite a nice retest right here on a larger term break-in retest. One of these, right? One of these. Maybe a retest back down to that level today, and we see if there's another long that can set up. So just remember, we are vertically higher on a gap up, by the way, right, from yesterday. There should be no surprises if this NASDAQ has to retrace a little bit. And I think the retracement would be quite nice, back down into the previous all-time highs and back down into this 22,210. That would be my expectation for now, okay? If we do not break the 22,320, right, and if we really hold strong onto this level today and maybe retail sales pushes us higher, then that will be a nice low that we can try to trade off of and try to trust today for a higher low formation. So these are really the two levels that I would look for today. It would be 320 and it would be 210. This is probably the zone that I would expect some relative weakness, right? Because that would be a break under pre-market lows, which would probably make you retrace to that 210 level, okay? If you do hold this 320, which you are right now, and retail sales does help us higher, then we probably go back and retrace back towards that 450 high. And then obviously if we break and hold over that, then you guys know the rest of the story here, all right? So 450, 320, 210. Let's see what happens. I would make sure you understand this area here, guys. This is probably the most important area to understand today. You break under that pre-market low, I would allow this to slide back down to 210, okay? I would probably not be very aggressive long if we fail below this pre-market low 320, okay? Make that very clear. QQQ, it's pretty much the same thing here, guys, right? You can see right here we had that previous all-time high, 533, which you held over perfectly yesterday morning, which pretty much just caused a straight-up rally, right? Pre-market low has solidified and shown itself around this 536.50, and this would really be the level that has to hold, right? If we hold this level, then sure, and retail sales does keep us higher, then sure, this could be a higher low to look for today, 536.50, for maybe another push into the 539, right? But if we break under this 536.50 and we do start to see rejections come in below it, let it be known that I would expect that's not a real candle. At least I don't think it is. No, it's not. Okay. Ignore that candle. That's not real. If we fail under 536.50 today, okay, then I do expect you to see a slide to 533. I would not really expect there to be much of a hold in this area right here. All right, this is straight up. You guys know my stance on straight up action. Straight up means straight down, okay? And so if we do find a low, if we do fail this low this morning and we do see a rejection below it, I would expect, a pretty aggressive straight down move, okay? So that's what I would look at. Pay attention to that. If we do fail below that, I would say targets are 533, right? And then that would really be the retest that you could look for possibly a better long opportunity. Once again, back here at 533, give us a nice little retest, right? This would really continue that structure, right? You see here, you see here, you see here, little break, little fail and retest, and then look for that structure to hold again, right? So this is really the long spot, right? This is really the long spot you want is 533 on Qs. And if we do break this 536.50, I would allow that to come down to that level, okay? Very important. Very important. Make sure you know that you are slightly suspended here, okay? You have to know that. And so it's the same picture here on the NASDAQ. This is really the long you'd want, the 22,210. This would be a nice break, little consolidation, possibly a failure move, bring us back down to that retest. That's the long you want to see right down here. It's possible that you hold this 320 and this thing just continues this brute strength and just continues the rally. That's very possible. But if you fail below it, don't try to get cute, right? Let that thing slide to 210. That would be my assumption today. S&P 500 futures. So very weak, right? Very weak versus the NASDAQ. Not so much like very weak as, oh my God, this market's tanking, but clearly unable to make a new high, right? Very clear. So something's off, right? It's a full-on tech rally right now. It's a full-on tech rally right now. And so we have to sort of understand that we can't really trade the ES or trade the SPY with the same and expect it to do the same thing as the NASDAQ right now. Yesterday, we had another nice demand hold, right? Pushing higher. But where did we push into? We pushed into the exact same rejection spot, right? The exact same one. Right here, Thursday, bam. Friday, bam. Yesterday, little failure right above it, bam, and bam, right? So nothing quite out of the ordinary, just another supply high rejecting again, and a very clear, move that's unable to make new highs. So something's a little bit off here on the ES. There's no doubt about it. Where are we back at today? To be honest, we're right back at a very interesting demand low and a very interesting possible long opportunity once again, right? We're right back at that 6120, 6110 zone. We're right back at that daily 20 SMA, which is now at 6115, which is quite interesting, right? See how the 20 SMA is catching up to price action? Not bad, right? And we are now at this major low, this 6120, 6120, and look at where we're at today. Pretty damn close to that 6120 again. So if this just wants to channel trade pretty much maybe before FOMC, well, this was your short yesterday, right? And now this is your long today, right? So the risk reward is on the long side today. Even though you've seen weakness in the pre-market, the risk reward is on the long side today, right? This is your sort of long side risk reward that you would expect if the market trades the same way it has been trading in this channel, right? So let's see. 6120, 6110, right? Lows, 20 SMA lows. Let's see what happens down there. However, there are some very clear rejection points that you need to be aware of here in the short term, right? So number one, you guys can see right here, the 6132, 6133, right here, previous highs, here's your lows. You can see we just failed below that in the pre-market. So I'd be very careful into that level today. That could be a failure point. 6133, these fails right here, bam, 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 right? Very possible failure point again today at 33. Let's be aware of that, okay? If we are able to reclaim that level, right, and get back above 33 today, something like this, then you probably trade back towards that 52, 53 spot, which is this rejection right there, right? So you have the 6120, 6110 demand below. You have the 20 SMA sitting right there, okay? This would really be an interesting long area. I would let the ES reclaim 6133, right? Do a little inverse head and shoulder, reclaim that level. That would be nice. And if you get that, then you probably start to trade back towards the supply zone up here and just do another, pretty much just do another channel trade into FOMC. So 6153, 6160, those are your big time rejections up here, right? You can clearly see those. And the lows are 6120, 6110. And I would just pay attention to this 6132, okay? SPY, pretty much the same thing. 1 hour chart. Looks like you got a little level here. I got to put this back on my chart. It's around 604. Yeah, it's that 604 spot. Let me go ahead and put that back on. So yesterday, we basically just hit the all-time high, and we got smacked down once again. So if we go to the 15-minute chart and we zoom out, we can see pretty much yesterday, upside move, upside creep, right? Right into that all-time high, right into that 608 major supply, and, just another slide to the downside off the exact same supply high. Today, it looks like you're attempting to hold this 604. You can see right here, 604, 604, and 604. That would be the level you could look to see if it holds. If we break below that 604, we're probably going back down to that 602.50. If we do push to the upside, well, you're watching 606, you're watching 607. These are two rejection spots that I would be paying attention to, okay? If we pop higher today, watch 606. If we push higher today, watch 607. Failure point, and of course, the failure points at all-time highs. 604, 602.50. I mean, it's pretty much just a channel. That's all it is. It's just a channel trade. I don't expect it to be anything more than that prior to FOMC And I would say the ES is just going to stay in this channel again. 604, 602.50 lows right here. 606 high, 607 high, 608 all-time highs. It's just a very tight channel all week. So not really something I'm even interested in trading. I don't think the SPY really provides a great trade here. But you can watch that 604 low, and you could look to fade that 606 if we get up into it today. Okay. IWM, still weak. Really not finding much, right? IWM still weak, not finding much. Not really getting that strength that the NASDAQ futures is right now. Your next level here is 232.50. If you break 232.50, you are going to the 230 level right here. So if you break under this 232.50, which is this level right here, if you break under these lows that we're trying to hold right now, I think you're going to come down to that 230 and that 50 SMA, which would actually be quite an interesting level back to the 50 SMA, something I would watch. But you can clearly see that the IWM is just sort of in this systematic downtrend, and you need some kind of reclaim action before trusting this. I would say you need to reclaim at the minimum this 236 level. You can see how this is now turning into very clear stair-stepping rejection points on the IWM. So 230, 250, 230, but I would say cautious on the long side if we're still under that 236. That's a very clear rejection now stepping up. Dow Jones, straight down for, pretty much the same thing, just systematically down, right? This is such a systematic downtrend. If we zoom out, right? If we zoom out, you're now at the 44,000, right? You're now down at this 44,000 level, which we have talked about in the past, 44K. Let's see what happens there today at 44. You guys can see right here, 44. Under that, I got 43.8. Under that, I got 43.6. But pretty much just a straight down sort of systematic trend. And the only way to know if this changes is reclaiming moves, right? And so we have not seen any reclaiming moves. We have basically just seen previous lows turn into highs this entire time, right? Lows into highs, lows into highs, lows into highs. So if that continues, then this is going to continue lower. I would say your next move could be a little 44,000 hold, right? Maybe a pop back into these lows. And then if this trend wants to continue, you're just going to see another sort of slide again, right, to stay in this downtrend, something along these lines, right? So your next move is probably upside on the Dow, but it's probably just upside into these previous lows, which creates another short opportunity if this trend wants to continue, okay? So watch 44K, watch 44.3. That's the zone I'd watch today. SMH, nice upside again yesterday and a beautiful hold of the 50 SMA, but you are sort of getting stuck at a pretty major rejection point here. This 254 level might get a little bit tough. So right here, you guys can see this 254. Let me delete this for a second. This 254 is going to be sort of that must move, right? That must break. You can see right here, 254, 254, 254. It looks like the SMH might see a little bit of a retracement after hitting this level yesterday. We got a nice strong hold of that 50 SMA pushing us into this level, but this level is definitely starting to show up a little bit as another heavy spot for the SMH to get above. We can see right here, these previous highs right there, right, turning into support yesterday at 249.50. That would be the level I want to see hold today, right? 50 SMA, 250, 249.50. That would be the spot I want to see us hold. If we do retrace today, that would be a very nice higher low to form at that level again. If we break under that 50 SMA, then we're coming back down to 247. We're coming back down to that 245. For now, the 254 is going to be tough. I would understand that if you're looking at semiconductors. I would look for a retracement to 249.50. I would look for a retracement to 247. Okay? All right, we got retail sales here in just a second. Let's see what the NASDAQ does at this pre-market low. That's really going to be the key here, guys. If this retail sales does drop us below this pre-market low, then I would expect a little bit of weakness today. Once again, possibly back down to this retest at 22,210. Let's see what it does. Let's see what the retail sales has to say on this pre-market low. Okay, slight weakness to start, getting sort of wicked up. No, not much movement yet. Okay, sort of wicking back higher there. Still holding that pre-market low, which is really the key. We'll see if really anything comes out of this. Not much action yet. Okay, not really much. Still above that pre-market low. That's really going to be the key there, right here. Retail sales 0.7 versus 0.6. Okay, so pretty much in line. 0.1 higher. Core retail sales slower. It's all about this low right here, guys. S&P. Question is, can it reclaim 32 today? Right, that's going to be a key. And can that NASDAQ hold strong at that low? Once again, if that NASDAQ breaks that low, right here, I'd anticipate a little bit of this action today. Okay? But for now, it's starting to defend it. So that's what you're watching. Can we defend this 320 level? Okay? And can the QQQ defend this 536.50? If I zoom in on the 5-minute chart, you can see for now, it's attempting to defend that level right there. Right? Can that defend? If so, upside continuation, maybe up into the supply highs from yesterday, and then maybe it just sort of fails there and we stay on an inside day. If we break under this, then retest time, 533. Okay? All right. Let's jump into some stocks. Holy shit, Tesla would have hold. All right, so Tesla. Last week on Thursday, talked to you guys about this, talked to the group about this, basically said Thursday, this day right here, is going to be the day that people look back at it and say, holy shit, why did I sell Tesla when it's still above previous all-time highs? And that is, it's exactly what happened. So we had previous all-time highs at 414.50. We had a squeeze through that on Wednesday, and we had a Thursday day that, scared a lot of people off, right? Tesla pretty much went down all day. But what did Tesla do? It held above previous all-time highs. It never broke below the previous all-time high, and this was nothing more than a break and retest of previous all-time highs. Since that point, this has been vertically higher, and almost, you could say, going to the left. That's how straight up it is. Just kidding. But 414.50, previous all-time high, I mean, that is the perfection hold on Thursday of last week. It just literally held right above it, to the T, like almost to the cent. And that is gorgeous. Since that point, you had a Friday washout long right at that level again, which is gorgeous as well, right? A little Friday washout long right at that 414.50, creating a double bottom low at previous all-time highs, and that has been the catalyst to just send this thing higher. Since that point, you have just created sort of these short-term levels that you can continue to watch, which I will talk to you about right now. Yesterday, our short-term level to watch was the Friday high at 436, and this was, again, perfection. I mean, it could not have been cleaner. Friday's highs, 436, the exact low of day yesterday. Break, right, of Friday's highs, hold right above that Friday high, wick off of it, and send it higher. So, quite beautiful yesterday. Definitely a catchable move yesterday at 436. Gorgeous. Today, let's look for some pullback levels. That's all we can really do at this point. For now, we can see 470 is quite possibly the level that we might need to long off of, right? 470, 470, 470 is your next level to watch, okay? If we break under 470, I would watch the previous day highs, previous day close, but also more of this high right here. I would watch this whole zone between 460. Actually, what I'm going to do, I would watch this whole zone between 463 and 460. That would be my next buy zone right there. That is the close of yesterday, which you guys can see up here is 463. That was the close of yesterday, which is right there, PDC, previous day close. Below that, 460, right? So 460 to 463 would be the levels to watch, right? So right here to right here, that is the next pullback that I would look for to see if we can find a new long entry. right around this level here. If we break below that 470, that would be the level that it probably would quickly come back down to, and that would be a very interesting re-long opportunity. If we break under that 460, you come back down to this 455, and if you break that, you're right back down into that 444. Okay? I would say the best long today would be this zone right here, right? Because this gives back this after-hours squeeze. This gives back this gap up, right? Pulling back to that 463, 460 zone would, in my opinion, would present the most viable long opportunity. So if you do get down this morning, don't panic, right? This is not a, oh my God, Tesla's done panic move. This is a, give back some upside, some profit taking on some very clear reasons to profit take, gap fill move, right? Back to previous day highs and 460 previous highs, and look to see if that creates a new long opportunity, right? That's what I would look for. So that's my really nice zone today around this 460 to 463 area, and then that 455 area. If we don't break 470, then we're not coming back to that level, okay? If we just squeeze off this 470 today, then we're simply not going to come back to that level, and that's that. Okay? NVIDIA, it's make or break today. This is it. I mean, this is the Super Bowl right here, guys. If we zoom out, you are right at this zone, this high, this zone right here, this zone right here. You are right in it, and this is it. I mean, this is really it, I think, for NVIDIA. This is where I either fully exit this March contract that I've been holding or I maintain it, and that is this zone right here, and that big boy that I think a lot of people have been waiting to see, and that is the 100 SMA right there. That 100 SMA is likely going to be around this 128, 128.50 at open today, and if we don't hold that, then I think it's over, right? I think that's it. So the 100 SMA, that's what I'd be watching today. I'd look to see what happens in this zone. You can see that in the past, this has been a nice level that has held NVIDIA higher on pullbacks to that level. This is also a very clean retest area. This 128, 130, right here, right here, right here. And then these previous lows, and you are sitting right in that area, right? So, big day. Let's see what happens here on NVIDIA. I think there's going to be a lot of eyes on this one. A lot of eyes on this one. All these previous highs, and if we zoom in on this 4-hour chart, we can see what's happened in the past in this area, right? See this little dip down into this area, right? See these previous highs right here, some of this right here. This has been a very, very influential zone on NVIDIA, right? See all this, all that, right there, right there, right there, right? Everything between this 130 and 128 is the Super Bowl for NVIDIA, right? This is where the decisions are made. So let's see what happens here. 128, 130. I would not expect upside unless we get reclaims, right? And so what NVIDIA has not done is reclaim previous levels. And that is why this downside has continued, right? So yesterday, we had those lows from Friday, right? And look at how those lows from Friday and the pre-market low turned into rejections, right? This has yet to find some type of a reclaiming move. And if that continues, if that failure to reclaim continues, then downside will continue as well, right? So what's the level that needs to reclaim today? It looks to be very clear at the previous day lows, right? You can very clearly see that today on NVIDIA. So you have some very clear previous day lows here around that 130.40 spot that was the pre-market hold here and turned into a rejection point right here, right? See that? See how that was a perfect failure this morning on NVIDIA? If we do not see a reclaim above this 130.40 today, then we are staying lower, right? If this does not do something like this and reclaim yesterday's lows and hold above this previous day low, then we are staying lower if it does not do that, okay? That is pretty much what you have seen every day, right? Lows, highs, highs. Lows, if this turns into highs today, then the downside continues, okay? So pay attention to that. I would not expect upside until something like that happens. If we do not get over this 130 spot and we don't hold above in a reclaim move, then more downside to come. All right. And possibly you're going to have to come back to that 128 and that 100 SMA down there. That's possibly the target that NVIDIA is looking for down at that level. All right. So let's see what happens down there. 100 SMA. Let's see what happens at previous day lows, right? We can see those previous day lows have turned into rejections. And it's going to be a big day to see what happens in this zone. Big stuff. Let's go to TSM. TSM right here. Big level today for TSM. You guys can see this 200 spot. This is going to be a big test for TSM today, 200. Can it maintain above that 200 spot? If not, I think it's going to come back down to this 196. So if we fail under that 200, possibly down to 196, which would actually be a nice retracement, right, for another long opportunity, in my opinion. If we retrace this move, this 196 area is probably a very nice retracement long from this low and create a higher low down here. So if we do fail that 200, I would let this trade back down to these previous highs right here, and I'd look to see if there's another long that sets up around that 196. Okay. Broadcom has been a beast, but you're starting to see a little bit of a slide here in the pre-market, giving back some of this move. I would look for the 234, 237 zone today, right in here. This is where I'd be watching Broadcom for pullback longs. These lows from yesterday, these highs from back on the Friday after hours move. If we fail back into this 234, 237, that's where I would get interested for possibly a pullback long. If we fail under that, then 225 would be the level I'd watch. The only other level to watch here is 246.50, which is these previous levels right here. If this holds, then maybe you can find something off that. But a failure under 246.50 would bring me back down to that 237. And that is possibly what you're starting to see right now. Is the NASDAQ failing? Yeah, a little bit. Okay, okay, look what's happening here. So this is very clear right now on the ES. The ES is turning the 33 right here into rejections. And that is weak, right? Look at that right there. So that's an ES weakness move right there. And if we break this NASDAQ pre-market low, guys, I think we're in for a nice little slide today, a little retracement type day after pretty much straight up yesterday. So watch this 320 low. If we do fail this, I would expect a little bit of weakness today, just sort of slide and give back some of that upside. We are starting to see just a tad bit of that weakness creep in, and that ES starting to reject this 33 spot, right? Previous lows turning into highs. That's pretty clear right now. Okay. Let's go to MRVL. MRVL, we long this yesterday off the 121, 120 area. It gave us a little bit of upside. It looks like it might not have enough juice in the tank to really give us too much more, but I'm going to watch this zone again today, this 120, 122 area. This was a nice previous high that turned into lows yesterday. A very nice structured setup that looked good, right, intraday for that upside continuation, which it did give us. You can see previous highs, lows, right, sort of a break and retest hold. Gave us that nice upside today, but you can see, sort of breaking down today, a little bit of weakness here in the pre-market. I would probably look for this to come back down to that 120, 121 area right there to see if that holds again. ASML, a little bit of a breakout move here this morning. Can it hold up? That's going to be the question. I need to see ASML hold above. It's right around this 734, 732 area. These previous highs, I'd like to see ASML hold above that spot. That is also these major lows right here. So right here, these major lows turned into highs, right? And we're sort of creeping above it right now, right? We're sort of creeping above it right now in the pre-market. Can it hold above it? That's the key today. Can we hold above? In my opinion, it's 734 to around this 732 spot. Can we see a nice hold come in there today? That's what I would be paying attention to. Okay. MU, nice push yesterday, basically right off our 105 into our 109. This is pretty much exactly what we talked about. Can MU hold above 109 today? Yeah, possibly. I would just be, I don't know. I don't really like the long at this point, right into this 200 SMA. Not big of a fan of that. So I'd probably say MU has the possibility to fail back to that 105. This was too straight up yesterday, in my opinion. I mean, this was vertical straight up yesterday. If we fail under this 109 today, you're probably going to see a little bit of retracement back to that 105 and probably sort of stay in this zone prior to earnings tomorrow. But 109, possibly a nice hold, right? Possibly a nice hold. But I would be just a tad bit aware of that that 200 SMA. Might be more like this 108, probably, right? Probably a little bit more like that 108 right there. So 108, 108, 108. I would just be very aware of that 200 SMA above, okay? ARM, not much. ARM failed yesterday, failed under 150. You really would like to see it hold this 145, 144 area today, right? Right around these previous highs right here and this 50 SMA. That's where you'd want to see it hold. If it doesn't hold this 50 SMA today, then I'd probably leave it alone. You can very clearly see the failure back under 150. But yeah, I would watch this 50 SMA and this 145 here. That would be the must hold in my opinion, right there. 144, 143, 50 SMA right there. That's what I would watch. Apple, another nice squeeze yesterday. I would look for a retest of these previous highs right here to see if it can hold. You have previous highs. That's 249.50. I would look to see if that can maintain today. That would be the key spot. If Apple fails back under these highs right here, then you're going to move back lower, right? If Apple cannot hold above these highs and you start to fail back below them, then Apple's probably going to see some type of a retracement move and just stay within this overall channel, moving forward. So watch this 249.50 on Apple there today. Microsoft, I really don't have too much on Microsoft, but Microsoft is still maintaining very nicely above these previous highs, lows, and lows, right? So 447 still looks like a very nice hold level. That would really be all I have for you on Microsoft. See if you can find something off that 447. Meta, nice failures yesterday at the 630 spot. Also, we are now failing under the 625, right? That was that 625 previous highs, which we are now failing below again. I don't really like that 625 or 630 failure. It does look like Meta needs maybe a little bit more pullback, right? After these failure moves right there, very clear. I'd probably look for Meta to pull back to the 617, possibly back down to the 612.50. I like this 617 as a next long opportunity right here at this 617 previous high. That's what I would be watching on Meta. Google and Amazon have some nice setups today. These are probably my top two watches today. Really like these two. So here's Google, previous high. I would love to look for a long on Google off this 196.70 spot. This is a very clear failure point from Thursday of last week. This is a very clear failure point on Wednesday of last week. And this would be a fantastic level to maintain today. You can already see in the pre-market we're finding some support above it. If this can maintain today, I really think you could get this upside continuation. This is definitely something I'm watching today. 196.70, that's a big watch. If we do fail that, I even love this 194.50. The 194.50 retest yesterday was a thing of pure beauty. Look at this 194.50 hold yesterday, please. That is sick, right at 194.50, and that is exactly the previous highs right here. I mean, this could not have been cleaner on Google. 194.50 right there, 194.50 right there, and on the 1 minute chart, down on the 1 minute chart, you see a perfect hold right of that level, right? So very nice. 194.50 would also be a very interesting long spot. I would watch both 196.70, 194.50 for retracement and pullback longs, right? Retrace this squeeze from yesterday. Give me some pullback longs at these key levels. That is absolutely something I am watching today. That's a top watch. Amazon is another very, very nice watch. Why do I say that? Well, guess what? Amazon is holding in the pre-market above a triple top all-time high, okay? This is all-time highs on Amazon. 231.30. Rejection. 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 And guess what? We're trying to hold right above it today. If this flags and holds above all-time highs, this is without a doubt a watch for me today. Amazon, 231.30, previous all-time highs. If we can hold above that today, I think that is definitely a watch. Let's see if it can. Let's see if the NASDAQ can keep it up today. That is definitely something I'm watching today. If you fail back under this all-time high, well, guess what? You're coming back down, okay? If you fail back under this triple top and you turn it into another rejection point, then, yeah, you're coming back down, okay? Netflix, not too much on Netflix, just sort of consolidating. Palantir, I mean, the same levels every day, guys. You guys ask me about Palantir every day, and it's the same goddamn levels. I mean, it's the same thing every day. 72 and 67.50. I've been saying this level for 4 weeks now. 72, 67.50. You got to be long off one of them. 60 to 72. If it's under 72, 67.50. Okay, same exact thing. Nothing has changed. What did Reddit do yesterday? Yeah, Reddit held our 158 level quite beautifully. 175 looks to be sort of a spot here. Yeah, a little bit of a spot, but maybe 180 looks a little bit heavier, though. I'd probably let that get over 180 first. But 158 was a beauty. That was a beauty. I'd probably want this over 180 before I touch it. All right. So, yeah, it looks like Reddit 180 to 157, 158. Not a bad zone there. MSTR, it's got to hold that 415. Coinbase still, got to get over this 322. You know, maybe set some alerts here today just to see if it does make that move. But another sort of day on those, right? Really a lack of continuation. But I'll set my alerts above these two levels. Costco hit 1,000 again yesterday. Failed it again, though. Oh, CrowdStrike had a monster. Oh, I want to point out something here. Just so before we get off, guys, I want to just point one thing out. Next time you see a stock drop 50% off some, really not that meaningful news, please buy it. CrowdStrike went down 50% because of that little intern error, and it has made back the entire move. I don't know if you guys remember us longing CrowdStrike around 300, looking for us to make back that intern move. We made comments on that pretty much every day on this live stream, and holy shit, did it do it. My only mistake is not trusting it more, right? And that is, once again, why I trust my analysis, right? That's, again, why I don't listen to the Timmies and Jimmies and all the people in the chat. I don't listen to them because I know I've seen plenty of times where I didn't trust my analysis, and I've seen it work out. I was very interested in CrowdStrike becoming that, sort of flag here and making back that intern drop, and that is literally exactly what it has done. It is a gorgeous move. I'm a little bit upset I didn't catch this whole thing, right? Because this was, it was just textbook. It really was. It was a beautiful stair-stepping upside the entire way. Remember us trading this thing? It just was a beautiful stair-stepping upside the entire way. And another just sort of breakout move yesterday. Beautiful. Beautiful. So next time you see 50% downside on an intern mistake, please consider buying that because that has done it. Yeah, ASML is interesting, right? We can keep an eye on ASML for that gap fill. But ASML went down on earnings, okay? CrowdStrike didn't go down on earnings. CrowdStrike went down because of the global shutdown. The day of the global shutdown. That's why it went down. So a little different, I'd say. But yeah, you can see how well that came back. All right, let's jump into the futures real quick before we head out. So you guys can see, we definitely, it's clear as can be, guys. We very clearly see the level that needs to hold today. It's already fighting here in the pre-market. If we break that, expect weakness. If we hold it, we might be able to sort of regain that strength back up to these highs. But if we break that 22,320 today, guys, I'd expect some weakness on the intraday. QQQ, same thing around this 536.50. S&P 500 futures needs to reclaim this previous low here to find any type of strength. If not, it stays weak. And the SPY, I'd say if you lose 604 today on the SPY, you can confirm some more weakness to 602.50. All right? All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the live stream. If you did, please press that like button. Oh, I forgot about MU for pump. MU, we already looked at MU for pump. Press that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.